So hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss about oscillator. So last class we discussed about negative feedback and positive feedback, and positive feedback is particularly used in oscillators. We will discuss about the oscillator briefly. So it is a device produces an output without any input, that is called as an oscillator. So oscillator means, like in laboratory we have seen a function generator or a signal generator, that is a oscillator. So it generates the oscillations without any input. So it uses positive feedback. So this is diagram which explains about the working of oscillator. So here inverting amplifier and feedback network we have taken, and inverting amplifier means we know very well it produces 180 degree out of phase. It produces output with 180 degree out of phase compared with the input. And the feedback network here we have taken, and this also introduces 180 degree phase shift. So VF is in same phase with Vin, but here Vin is I am taking as 0. So which means we'll see when we explain the derivations. You can understand how we are going to take the input voltage is 0 here, and beta is the feedback factor or feedback ratio, and VF is the feedback voltage, and Vout is the output voltage. And positive feedback, so a feedback signal VF is in same phase with input signal Vi. It introduces 180 degree phase shift to the Vout. Inverting amplifier produces 180 degree phase shift between input and output. This we know already. And inverting amplifier gain equal to output voltage divided by input voltage. So from this we can write output voltage equal to AVI. And I am considering that this is the first equation, and the feedback factor, that is beta, is the ratio between VF and Vout. So beta equal to VF by V0, that means feedback voltage divided by output voltage. From this, feedback voltage equal to beta into output voltage. This is I am taking as a second equation. Consider VA is applied to the inverting amplifier. See here, VA is, suppose if it is applying Vout equal to AVI, just now we discussed, and VF equal to beta V0. That is also, it's a second equation. This is first equation and this is second equation. And substitute V0 in equation number 2. We will be getting a feedback voltage equal to A beta into input voltage. Right? Suppose in an oscillator, what we are considering actually output oscillations produced when no input is applied. So input will be feedback signal only. So feedback signal only, the input, separate input we are not applying. So VF must be equal to Vin. So this VF should be equal to Vi. So when this VF is equal to Vi, when A beta is equal to 1, that time feedback voltage is equal to input voltage. So that is what we are going to see in the next point. See here, in the third equation, if VF equal to Vin when A beta equal to 1. So loop gain, that is loop gain. So why this is called as loop gain means, see in this figure, this is a complete loop. So this is a complete loop. So A is the gain of this inverting amplifier. Beta is the ratio of this feedback network. So the product of A and B is called loop gain. So that's why that is called as loop gain. When loop gain equal to 1 and the total phase shift is equal to 180 plus 180. 180 introduced by feedback network, and this 180 is because of the inverting amplifier. So total phase shift is 360 degree, right? And the loop gain is 1. So we'll see the Barkhausen criterion for oscillator. So this criteria is very, very important. There are two conditions for sinusoidal oscillations produced by an oscillator. So first condition is, sustained oscillations. So in order to get the sustained oscillations, there are two conditions. First condition is loop gain A beta modulus A beta equal to 1. Magnitude of product of A and beta is unity. And second condition is phase shift around loop, that is angle of A beta equal to 360 degree. So here it is angle of A beta, wait. So angle of A beta, that is a phase shift around loop, that should be equal to 0 or 360 degree. So total phase shift around the loop is 0 or 360 degree for positive feedback. So these two conditions should be satisfied by an oscillator in order to produce the sustained oscillations. What is meant by sustained oscillations we will discuss now. See, sinusoidal oscillations, which means the oscillators we used for sinusoidal as well as for non-sinusoidal oscillations. See, here we have taken only for sinusoidal oscillations. So there are three types are there, mainly two types, damped, undamped. So from this, damped types are exponentially decreasing, exponentially increasing, and undamped is sustained oscillations. Just now we said no sustained oscillations. We'll see how we are getting this kind of oscillations. First one is damped oscillations, exponentially decreasing, this is, and this one is exponentially increasing. See, listen here, when modulus A beta is less than 1, which means Vf is less than Vin, so that time the amplitude is slowly decreasing and it reaches to 0 at certain level. See, I'll tell you, when Vf is less than Vin, what will happen? So in this figure, just observe. In this figure, for suppose if I'm giving here 2 volt initially, and that 2 volt will be given here, then now Vf is actually what we are telling is less than Vin, right? And suppose if Vf is reduced compared to the previous input is 2 volt, compared to that now Vf is reduced. For example, if I am applying 1.5, now 1.5 will be the input given to this inverting amplifier, and again it will reduce. For example, if I am applying next value is 1, next value is 0.5, next value is 0. Like that it will reduce if modulus A beta is less than 1. So this kind of sinusoidal oscillations are called as exponentially decreasing oscillations, and here it is opposite to this one. Here modulus A beta is greater than 1, which means Vf is greater than Vin. So this is opposite to this one. So if I am applying 2 volt, present voltage is 2, and next voltage will be 3, or next voltage will be 5, next voltage will be 7, like that it will increase. So the waveform will be like this, and it is exponentially increasing. So now undamped oscillations, that is the sustained oscillations. See, this case just now we discussed. Here we discuss modulus A beta equal to 1 and the angle is 360 degree. So to get a sustained oscillations, when A beta modulus A beta equal to 1, Vf equal to Vin, and we will be getting a oscillations like this, which means you are giving a same voltage. Suppose if the previous input voltage is 2 volt, means next voltage also will be 2 volt only. So the amplitude is constant, but here the amplitudes are varying. So for sinusoidal oscillations, there are 3 types of oscillators widely used. First one is RC oscillator, next one is LC oscillator, and next one is crystal oscillator, quartz crystal oscillator. First one is for low frequency oscillations, and next two are for high frequency oscillations. Next, for non-sinusoidal oscillation like a square wave, triangular wave, relaxation oscillator is used. These are the types of oscillators what we have, and in that types, so far not some of the types we discussed. No, in that types we have only one type, that is RC phase shift oscillator. Now we are going to discuss about this RC phase shift oscillator. See, already we have seen the oscillator block diagram, inverting amplifier and feedback network, right? So here the particular circuit we have taken, inverting amplifier circuit. This circuit we know already, and this is the RC phase shifting network, and this is a circuit complete to get the oscillations by using RC network, shifting network. So we'll see the working and construction details of this RC phase shift oscillator. So construction details, it consists of inverting amplifier, RC phase shift network, that is a feedback network. Inverting amplifier produces output in 180 degree out of phase with input. This we know already. And RC phase shift network is the cascade connection of three RC stages introduce 180 degree phase shift, like 60 degree plus 60 degree plus 60 degree. This we will see how it produces the 60 degree, 60 degree, 60 degree, and total 180 degree how it introduce, that we will discuss later. Anyhow, about this inverting amplifier we already know it produces 180 degree out of phase output compared with the input. Total phase shift, inverting introduce 180 degree and RC phase shift network introduce 180 degree. So total phase shift of the circuit is 360 degree, and hence this is called as RC phase shift network, because we are using a RC phase shift shifting network. That's why this is called as RC phase shift oscillator. Now we'll see working of this RC phase shift oscillator. Inverting amplifier produce output, that is we know already, V out equal to minus RF by R V in. V out is in 180 degree out of phase with input V in. Now cascade connection of three RC stages introduce phase shift of 180 degree to V out. See, this is the cascade connected RC stages, three RC stages. So how this introduce the 180 degree phase shift, we'll see. See, here we have taken RC network. So this is RC network, and current direction and input voltage, output voltage, everything is taken. See, input voltage can be written as, generally we know voltage means I into R. So input voltage equal to I into, so here resistor and capacitors are connected in series. So R minus JXC. So this is the reactance of the capacitance. XC means reactance of the capacitance. So output voltage equal to I into R. This is no need actually. So now we are going to calculate the impedance equal to input voltage divided by current. So generally impedance means resistance only. So resistance means voltage divided by current, V by I. So voltage is, just now we calculated, voltage is I into R minus JXC divided by current is I gets cancelled. Then impedance Z equal to R minus JXC. So from this we can calculate the angle theta equal to tan inverse of imaginary part XC divided by real part R. So this is the theta This is the way to calculate the theta value. So we'll come to this now. In RC network, phase shift depends on the value of R and capacitance C. See, phase shift means theta. This theta depends on the value of R and the capacitance, value of capacitance C, value of resistance and value of capacitance, right? And if XC is chosen very small, theta equal to 0. See, we know very well tan inverse of 0 is 0. So if I choose XC is very small, then theta become 0, which means phase shift is 0. If R is chosen 0, then theta equal to 90 degree. See, we know very well, suppose if I substitute R equal to 0, then tan inverse of infinity equal to 90 degree. So 90 degree. In this way, RC circuit produces phase shift from 0 to 90. If I choose XC is small, then the phase shift is 0. If I choose R is 0, then the phase shift is 90 degree. But the problem is, theoretically, this 90 degree we can achieve. See, that is what given here. We'll see. Theoretically, to get 180 degree phase shift, 2 RC stages are required. Which means one stage is for 90 degree, another stage is for 90 degree. 90 plus 90, 180 degree, right? Theoretically, it is okay. But when you go for practical case, it is not possible to achieve the 180 degree phase shift just by using 2 RC stages. See, reason I will tell you. See, in this, suppose if I am taking R is 0, then only we will be getting 90 degree, correct? See, here I already explained. Here R, if I choose 0, then only the phase shift is 90 degree, right? If I choose R equal to 0, then output voltage becomes 0. The problem is, if I choose R equal to 0, then output voltage becomes 0. So this should not happen. So that we cannot take R equal to 0. So that's why instead of 90 degree, we are going to get only 60 degree phase shift by using one stage. So in practical case, instead of 2 RC stages, instead of that 3 RC stages are required. Each stage will provide 60 degree phase shift. So total phase shift is 180 degree. That means 60 plus 60 plus 60. So overall circuit phase shift is 180 plus 180. That is 360 degree, or we can say that is 0 degree. Thus, the RC phase shift oscillator generates the sustained low frequency oscillations with frequency of, this is a formula, frequency formula, right? And how we are getting sustained oscillations? Because it follows the Barkhausen criterion. So we'll move on to the next topic, important topic, communication systems. So before communication system, here I have given applications of oscillator. Please take down this point. It is used in laptop and smartphone processors for generating the clock signals. Already I told you oscillators means it generates the signals, some oscillations with some desired frequency. And it is used as a signal generator used in lab to test the circuits. In laboratories, generally you might have observed the function generators or a signal generators. So that are all called as oscillators only. Now we'll see the next topic, communication system. So communication is the process of exchanging the information between the two networks or two systems. A system supports for this communication process is called communication system. So we'll see the block diagram of communication system now. So this is the block diagram of communication system. I hope it is visible to you all. Yes. So this is the block diagram of communication system. See, first block is source. I'll show you one by one. First block is source. Source may be text, picture, video, document or a voice, etc. And input transducer, example microphone, modulator, transmitter, channel, receiver, demodulator, output transducer, example loudspeaker, and destination. Here also text, picture, video, document, voice, etc. And in the channel, there is a possibility of unwanted signal interference, that is called noise. So we'll see about the blocks, each and every blocks in this communication system. First one, source. It may be text, picture, video, voice message, need to send. It is directly connected with user who start the communication process. It may be a text or picture, whatever we need to send, that is the source. And input transducer, it is a device used to convert the non-electrical signal into electrical signal, example microphone. See, transducer here I am using. See, what is the signal I am sending here? This is not a electrical signal, right? Suppose if I want to make a call, my voice signal is a message, right? Message signal, right? That voice is not an electrical signal, right? So microphone, what it has to do means first it has to convert my voice signal into electrical form. So that is the purpose of this transducer, input transducer. It is used to convert the non-electrical into electrical signal. Next, modulator. The process of varying the parameters of carrier signal with message signal is called modulation. About this modulation we'll discuss later, because the modulation is there in our syllabus. We'll discuss briefly about this modulation. So you just observe now the definition of modulation. The process of varying the parameter of carrier signal with message signal is called modulation. A device used for modulation process is called modulator. So modulator means it just varies the parameters. Modulating means, we understand from the name itself, it is used to vary the parameters. We'll see next one. Transmitter. It is a device which makes the signal suitable for transmission, and it take care of the power level of signal which has been transmitted. See, transmitter which is used to transmit the signal with the required power level, and it converts the electrical into electromagnetic form. Channel. It is a path over which the signal travels. So channel means, we can say channel or medium. It is a path over which signal travels. It may be wired or wireless. Wired means, some example, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, etc. And wireless means air medium, we know. Receiver. It receives the signal through receiving antenna with proper selectivity, sensitivity, fidelity. Selectivity means which signal, with which frequency we have to select. Sensitivity means without noise, how we have to. Fidelity means with the high gain, how the receiver has to receive the signal. That is mean by selectivity, sensitivity and fidelity. That is the meaning of these three. In demodulator, it is the opposite process of modulation. Message is extracted from the received signal. See, initially message is modified. In demodulator, message is again extracted from the received modified signal, right? Next, output transducer. It is a device used to convert the electrical signal into non-electrical signal. See, initially input side, transducer actually converts the non-electrical into electrical. Now in the output side, this output transducer converts the electrical into non-electrical. Example, loudspeaker. Destination, it may be text, picture, video, document, voice, etc. Message need to receive. It is directly connected with user who completes the communication process. So that's all about the communication system, block diagram of communication system. And one more definition about the noise, you please take down. Noise is the unwanted signal interfered while the message signal travels through the channel.